The doctor's words fell like ash. Soft, grey, suffocating. "Stop making love," she said. Her voice a sterile blade, cutting through the pulse of us. Not a suggestion, but a decree. Clinical, cold, a white-coat truth that hung in the air like damp rot. We sat, two statues in her office. Your hand still in mine, but already slipping, as if touch itself had been outlawed. I saw your eyes, not meeting mine, tracing the linoleum's faded squares, as if answers hid in their cracks. What does it mean to stop? To unlearn the language of skin, the grammar of breath, the syntax of a shared pulse? We built a world in those moments, a cathedral of whispers and heat. And now, the doctor said, it must be boarded up, abandoned. The drive home was silent. The radio's hum a traitor's song. I wanted to ask you what you felt, but my tongue was heavy, weighed by the fear of your answer. Outside, the world moved on. Cars honking, leaves falling. A dog chasing its tail in a yard. Life, indifferent to our sentence, marched forward, while we sat, trapped in the pause of her words. At home, the bed loomed large. A battlefield now, its sheets a map of what was. We stood at its edge, unsure how to navigate this new geography of distance. Your fingers brushed mine, a reflex, a ghost of habit. And I flinched, not from you, but from the weight of prohibition. What is love without its body? A soul without a home? The first night, we lay apart, two islands in a sea of cotton. I listened to your breathing, counting each inhale like a prayer, hoping it might bridge the gap. But the space between us grew, a chasm carved by her words. Stop making love, she'd said, as if it were a switch to flick, a faucet to shut off. Did she know what she was asking? To unravel the threads of us, to silence the song we'd sung. In the dark, in the heat, in the quiet, I dreamed of rebellion, of defying her sterile edict, of pulling you close, your skin against mine. A protest in whispers and sighs. But dreams are not plans, and morning brought reality's weight. Your eyes were tired, not from sleeplessness, but from carrying the same questions I did. Who are we now? What remains when the body is forbidden? Days bled into weeks, and we learned to tiptoe around the edges of desire. We spoke of weather, of bills, of the news, anything to avoid the truth that hung like a fog between us. I caught you staring once, not at me but at the space where we used to collide, where laughter and sweat built bridges no words could. I wanted to scream, to tear down the doctor's walls, but her voice echoed, a ghost in our home. We tried to fill the void. You took up gardening, kneeling in the dirt, coaxing life from seeds. I read books I didn't understand, pages blurring under my gaze, each word a distraction from the ache of not touching you. We were polite, like strangers sharing a table, careful not to spill the fragile peace we'd built. But love, I've learned, is not so easily caged. It seeps through cracks, slips past decrees, finds new ways to speak. One evening, you laughed, a real laugh, bright and unguarded, at a story I told, and I felt it, the old spark, not in our bodies, but in the air between us. I reached for your hand, not to pull you close, but to feel you there, real, warm, mine. We began to rebuild, not with the fire of before, but with something softer, a tenderness carved from loss. We talked late into the night, words weaving a new intimacy, stories of childhood, fears we'd never named, dreams we'd tucked away. Your voice became my anchor. Your laughter, my map. We learned to love. In the spaces between. In glances, in silences. In the way you poured my coffee. With a smile that said, I see you. The doctor didn't know. Couldn't know. That love is not one act. Not confined to the body's dance. It is the hand that steadies. The ear that listens. The heart that stays. We found new ways to make love. In the meals we cooked together. In the walks where our shoulders brushed. In the quiet of sitting side by side. Watching the world turn without us. I won't lie. There are days I miss the old fire. The reckless heat of us. The way we could lose ourselves. In the other's skin. But this new love. This quiet, stubborn thing. It holds us too. It is the root that grows. Beneath the frost. The star that shines. Through a clouded sky. One night, you turned to me. Your eyes soft, unguarded. And said, we're still us. 3 words. A lifeline. A vow. I nodded. My throat too tight for speech. And we lay there. Not touching. But closer than we'd been in weeks. The doctor's words faded. Not gone, but smaller. A shadow we could step around. We are not what we were. But we are not less. We are a house rebuilt. After a storm. Stronger in its seams. Wiser in its walls. The doctor said to stop making love. But she didn't know. That love is not one thing. Not a single act to be banned. It is the sum of us. The choice to stay. To find each other. In the ruins of what was. Now, I watch you in the garden. Your hands deep in the earth. And I see it. The love that grows. In the quiet, in the ordinary. I bring you water. You smile. And we are whole. Not the whole we planned. But one we've made. Brick by brick. Moment by moment. In defiance of the doctor's words. We make love still. In the laughter we share. In the stories we tell. In the silence we no longer fear. The body may pause. But the heart does not. It beats, it builds. It loves. And we go on. You and I. 2 souls refusing. To stop.